everybody, this is Alessandra. Welcome to my home, welcome to my kitchen. I am going to make a recipe that I made already months ago, and that's your basic meatball recipe. The previous recipe, I've put it together with the Reggiano for a Sunday sauce, but this is going to be a little bit simpler, so when the kids want meatballs, you can have them ready anytime. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is make a tomato sauce using onion and extra virgin olive oil. And I have 2 cans, 28 ounces of San Marzano tomatoes. And then here, I'm gonna take a little bit of time because the star of the show is the meatballs. So I wanna go slowly and in detail exactly what you would need. Basic recipe: a pound of meat, 1 clove, 1 small clove of garlic, a bunch of fresh parsley chopped. I don't like the dry, I like the fresh. Then 1 to 2 eggs and the Parmigiano or Pecorino Romano. I have here a little bit over half a cup. Can you use half a cup? Can you use more? That's really up to you what kind of flavor. Of course, salt and pepper. And the important thing for a soft, moist, delicious meatball is the bread. I don't use breadcrumbs, I like bread. And this is what I do, is when we have dinner and we have leftover bread, I keep her in a paper container and just put it in my pantry in this box. I don't cover it, and the stale bread will keep for months. So let's take a look here what we got. Okay, we have this piece of, probably the end got cut off, and we have another piece here. Now, I have a little bit over a pound of meat, so I think I'm gonna be using these 2 pieces, and that should be plenty. I have whole milk in my glass bowl, and I'm gonna add some water on top. Now, if you have time, just leave it here for hours, and it will get softened as it absorbs the milk and the water. Can you use only milk? Absolutely. Can you use only water? Absolutely. I like to do a mixture of both. Now, what you want to do is, if you're going to make them right away, so what you want to do is keep churning the bread inside so it soaks up the water and gets soft. Another thing I want to talk about is the meat. You could use veal, pork, and beef mixture. I like to just use a beef mixture. That's what I grew up with, and that's what we like. So that's what, you see, there's really no right and wrong on meatballs. It's what you grew up with. So this is how we make them in Napoli, and this is how I make them. This is my nonna's recipe, my aunt, my mother, everybody in my hometown, we make them the same way, pretty much. So the meat is right here. Let's wait for the bread to soak up the milk and the water, and then we'll combine everything. Okay, I'm going to be adding some water to my bowl with the milk in it. Now, if you have time, you could do this first thing, so you let it take its time to absorb the liquid so the bread gets soft. But if you don't have a lot of time, remember, every once in a while, go stir it or make sure it's completely immersed in the liquid. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside and move on to the next step. Medium saucepan, let's just add about 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. Just want the bottom of the pot to be coated. Okay, then the next is going to be the onion. You don't want the flame on high because you want it to sweat and get golden but not burn. A few minutes, and as you could see, the onions are sweating and releasing their flavor in the oil. The onions are translucent, they're golden, they're perfect. Time to add the tomatoes. There we go. I'm just going to quickly rinse this with a little bit of water. Give it a stir. And before it starts boiling again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit it with the immersion blender. If you do not have an immersion blender, don't worry. You could put in a regular blender before you start cooking the tomatoes, or squish them with your hands, or just get chopped tomatoes. But I like it like this because I always find the chopped tomatoes. They don't use the best quality tomatoes. These are the little things my Aunt Tina told me, and they kind of stick in your mind. Going to add some salt. I could always adjust it later. So put a little less if you're not sure. It's always better to add more. Okay, there it goes. This is great also for the picky eaters that don't want the onions or the basil in it. Everything gets pureed so you don't see anything, and it's really kid friendly like this. It's ready. Bring to a boil, lower it, 1 spoon across, lid on, and let it cook at least for an hour. Now let's get the meatballs made. Let's get started with the meatballs. First thing we're gonna do is squeeze the liquid out of the bread. Now, the amount of eggs you use also is determined by how dry your bread is and not. Okay, kind of break it up. If it has a very thick crust, sometimes you could remove it, but this doesn't, so it's good. There it goes. Definitely remove them. Let's add 1 egg. You know what? I'm gonna add 2 eggs. I'm gonna first open it in a small container to make sure the egg is not spoiled, because that has happened to me once, and you don't want to ruin whatever you're making. The garlic, just like this. Now, if you're making a large amount, what I suggest is your parsley and your garlic, put it through a food processor. Sure, you're gonna save a lot of time, but for just this small amount, I could just do quickly the garlic with my hand. No need to dirty something else. You want it nice and small, so like this. See that? Just keep going down. If you're not comfortable doing this, do it on a cutting board. Chop the parsley, and with a scissor, you could do this with a knife, just chop it all in. Cheese goes in. Now, salt and the black pepper. Black pepper, it's to what you like. I like them with the little black pepper flavor. It adds definitely flavor to everything. Okay, now let's start mixing. Do not over mix. Once it's well combined, no need to work them to death, because you want a soft meatball. So here we are. Bottom to top and squeeze. Bottom to top. Feel the mixture is very soft in your hands. Okay, here it is. Now, I want to show you a little something I do. If it could help you, do it. Now, I don't want to start frying and then gotta heat up the oil and then you fry one. So what I do is I take a small amount in a paper towel, close it up, microwave it for 10 seconds and taste it. I don't like raw meat, so this is a great way to do it. Okay, time to taste it. This hand, I didn't touch the meat. Excuse me, it was very hot. It's perfect. The pepper, the salt, the cheese, it's good to go. Let's get started to fry them. As the oil gets hot, I'm gonna start rolling them. I don't like them too big, but I don't like them too small either. So this is the size of what my meatballs are. And you're not gonna cook them through in the oil. You just gotta brown them on all sides, because they'll finish cooking in the sauce. You could use also an ice cream scooper, small one or larger one, and then you definitely get them even like that. Oil on 350. Let's go ahead and add the meatballs right in. See, you want it at a good frying temperature so it seals in. It creates a crust and it seals in the juices, so that gives you a very soft meatball. Okay. Don't overcrowd them, just enough that they have space. I think I can get one more in. Okay, that's it. Gently turn one by one. Let's get them out of the oil on a paper towel to drain. The little one in the family prefers fried meatballs, so facciamo le polpette con la sorpresa. Little meatballs with a little surprise in it, which is a piece of mozzarella. So take a smaller piece of the mixture, put a little piece of mozzarella in it, and I give it a football shape. There it goes, like this, and then we'll get it all fried up. See that? Less mixture, roll it, put the mozzarella in, and give it a little football shape. Yeah, okay, let's get the meatballs in. Gently place them in. Lid on and let them cook for about 20 minutes. It's been difficult to get everybody to stop eating. I just want to show you la polpetta con la sorpresa. Ecco qua, che fila. Ah, wow, delicious. I'm gonna clear it up. So good. I have a hungry crew, so I'm gonna wrap it up. Grazie, subscribe, hit the like button. Until next time, I still plenty more meatballs there. Eat them with salad, over pasta, any way you like. Grazie, alla prossima, arrivederci. Ciao ciao.